Hello everyone. Today we have with us Tanveer Ahmed Khan, founder and executive coach, Exponential Coaching. How are you, Tanveer?
I'm fine, Aftab. How are you?
So we'll be talking about executive coaching today,
Okay.
and my first question is, what exactly is executive coaching, and how does it differ from other forms of coaching?
Okay. Thank you so much, Aftab, for inviting me to the podcast.
It's a pleasure.
Same here. So, in order to understand the difference between executive coaching and other form of the coaching, first we need to see what are those other form of coaching. There are many. We don't have time to discuss all of those, but a few are career coaching, life and success coaching, and executive coaching. So, if we talk about executive coaching, it is slightly different than the life coaching and career coaching. What we do in executive coaching is that we do a complete personality assessment of the executive using MBIT or disc profiling. After doing that, we see what are the areas which that executive needs to improve in order to achieve what they want to achieve in their life. And it all revolves around, first of all, developing the clarity of what they want to achieve. For example, I was coaching a CISO, and the C level executive wanted to present and get approval for his charter for cybersecurity. So, this was one area where I have coached him. So, first of all, we develop the clarity of whatever they want to achieve. Then we do the strategies and the planning for their SMART goal. And then we, as an accountability partner, help them to achieve whatever professional goal they want to achieve in their life.
My next question is, how executive coaching benefits individuals and organizations?
Executive coaching, it doesn't only help the individual, but it helps the organization as a whole. Why? See, the top tier, the C level executives, whatever decision they make in the organization is going to impact the whole organization. The decision from a C level executive can take an organization to the next level, or they can hit the whole organization to the wall. So these highly influential people in the organization, they require a coach who can help them to craft a clear plan of whatever they want to achieve, who can work as a sounding board. So whatever decisions they make, there is someone who is going to challenge them so that whatever decisions they make are the rational decisions. And those are properly being vet by some person. And whenever they make a decision, the next thing is to develop the strategies and plans in order to get it delivered. And third thing is accountability. So unless and until we have accountability, the thing doesn't work. Because see, whenever we see for results for any decisions, it requires set of actions. And sometimes what happens is that life comes in the way of life. So whatever decision they make one day, next day they have different problem and they leave those actions. So we as coach help individuals and executive to have a clarity of whatever they want to achieve, and then we help them to craft a plan, and we became their accountability partner so they achieve whatever they want to achieve in their professional life.
Very nice. Okay, Tanveer, what are some common misconceptions that you've come across about executive coaching?
Okay. There are many misconceptions, and actually in most of the cases people they don't have idea what is difference between a coaching and a training activity. So this is one of the main challenge that organization mostly they are spending their budget on training people, and they are considering it as coaching. However, the coaching and training are not the same, because in training you are giving them knowledge. Once they get their knowledge, they have some takeaways from that knowledge from that training, and then they have to implement it in their life, in their professional life. What is happening is that they are getting that knowledge, and with time the knowledge diminishes, and then they forget about the training, and the trainings are not getting any more effective. Coaching is different. Coaching is that it's all action based. So whatever knowledge they gain, that knowledge comes into practice when they get coached. So this is one misconception of differentiating between the coaching and the training. Another misconception which people have is they think that coaching is just to fix a problem. So if a person is offered the coaching service from the organization, he starts thinking, do I have some issue? Do I have some problem which the organization want to fix? Do I have some weakness? That is not the case. Coaching is helping an individual to go to those stress targets which they cannot go individually. So, like once you go to the gym, if you have the gym instructor with you, he will help you to put some extra weights. He will help you to do some extra push ups. So this is the second misconception. And third misconception is they think that coaching is one size that fits all, which is not the case. Because as I mentioned, what we do in our executive coaching is first we do disc profiling for an individual, and then based on the personality type, we help that individual. Some individuals or executives, they are introverts, and being introverts, they are very successful businessmen. There are some who are extroverts, there are some who are dominating, there are some who are steady. So based on the personality, we craft the coaching plan and we help that individual to be himself and still grow in his personal and professional life.
Okay, Tanveer, it's been very informative for us and for our audience as well. So our next question is, can you share some success stories about executive coaching?
Yes. Executive coaching is very near to my heart. So if somebody asks me about story,
it's your specialization.
It's my specialization as well. So if somebody asks me about the success stories, I have many in my box under my belt. But I'll just bring two, which I just remember, which were from my recent coaching engagements. There was one executive who was reporting to the chairman in that organization. So he was like having a CEO role. And the problem which that guy was facing was decision making. So what that guy was doing is that he was making decision, but he was procrastinating in making the decision. And just think that if there is an organization which is waiting for a CEO to make a decision and he is procrastinating, how much it is going to impact the whole organization. So when I got into coaching engagement with that guy, and we did the alignment, we brought everything from the past, his personality traits, his fears, whatever he wants to do. And there are many traits. Actually, we have a complete process of doing the alignment of an executive. So by having all that knowledge, I have identified that there are some emotional blocks in the personality of that individual. And why? Because what happened was that in past, that guy has made some decisions which were flawed, which result into a failure. Now what happens is that, and this is something, audience, it is common for everyone, that in our childhood, we build some emotional blocks. Why? Because if we do some mistake, if we try something and if we don't success, then it creates an emotional block in our brain, in our neural system. So whenever such situation is coming, instead of taking the decision vigilantly or rationally, our mind says to us, don't take the decision. And this was the problem which was happening with this guy. And that is why he was procrastinating in all his decisions. So there is a technique in Mars Venus coaching through which we remove that emotional block. So it's a surgery in coaching through which we remove that emotional block so that that person start doing the decisions which he has to do. So by doing this, that executive was cured, and now he is making very good decisions, and he is a very strong and fast decision maker. And after that, he has done some very good decisions, and actually based on the coaching of that one CEO, the organizational structure was changed, and the organization has adapted to such a structure which was important for success of that organization. So this was one story with one of the CEO.
And these emotional blocks, these are not necessarily the the fault of the person. They can be impacts, and they can be influences from your past childhood or over the period, from your parents, from your peers. So
True.
so these all can, but you're not aware of them.
Yes. Thank you so much for bringing that up. It's a very important question, that these emotional blocks are not bad. And there is no fault with that individual. These emotional blocks are created by nature for us. Because, for example, as a child, if I'm doing some mistake, so what is happening, that this emotional block is helping me to take care of that situation again in future. So these emotional blocks are helpful for us. These are not something bad. These are good. And each one of us have these emotional blocks. What is happening, Mr. Aftab, is that once we grow up, these emotional blocks are not helping anymore. So if those emotional blocks are stopping a person from progress, then we have to remove it. And by the way, we identify those blocks in the alignment very early, but we don't remove them unless until we are seeing that it is hindering progress of a person. So if it is hindering, then we remove it. If not, then it continues the same.
That's very informative again. And So let's conclude this podcast with our final question and an important one. How can the individuals, organizations, uh, get maximum benefit from executive coaching?
In order to start the executive coaching journey, first that executive or organization need to contact a reputable coaching company. Like Xponential is one of those. Exponential Coaching is a group of Mars Venus certified coaches who are from different countries, from Australia, Canada, Saudi Arabia, and we have some other certifications from Goal Imagery, from Fifth Discipline, and other coaching companies. So first they need to contact and they need to choose a coaching company. Secondly, they need to identify the area where they need coaching. Like some of the companies, they need coaching for organizational effectiveness.
But do they just sorry to cut you off?
Yeah.
Do the individual or the organization can they assess what area they need coaching for or what are they lacking, or the coach will identify it for them?
See, it goes both ways. In some cases, organization involve us for the gap analysis. So we do the initial gap analysis and we see what are the improvement opportunities for that organization. In some cases, they need help with the leadership. In some cases, they have organizational politics which they want to get rid of. In some cases, they are over dependent on some employees and they need to create their backups. In some cases, they have very high churn rate for the employees, so they need retention. So there are different challenges where they engage the coaches. So first we do the gap analysis. This is one approach. And after gap analysis, we come up with a report and we say these are your individuals or executives who are coachable. So we list them down and then we coach them. In some cases, the individuals contact us directly through referrals, most of the cases, and then we coach them individually on their personal and professional goals. And just to let you know that, this segregation of professional and personal life is no more there. Although we say it in this way, but we are individual. So a person or an executive or a professional who is not good at home, or a person who came to office after having fight with his spouse or a hard talk with his kids, then once he come to the office, he cannot be a happy manager or a happy executive. So we have to help individuals so that they are good at home and they are good at office and they are good at all as an individual.
So this involves a process that initially you will assess the individual or the organization for the coaching, what areas they need coaching for, and what about the charges? Like, do you charge for this initial assessment, or is it how do you go about it?
See, initial assessment is generally complimentary. So we give that complimentary assessment to our prospects, to
You basically identify those areas for them,
Yes.
and you tell them that these are the areas you need coaching for, and then you start a plan or a program for them.
Yes. So what we do is that this initial assessment is complimentary. As we say, you cannot go wherever you want to go unless you know where you are now. So we help those individuals to know where do they stand as of now, so that they can decide wherever they want to go. So this initial assessment is complimentary, in which the areas are identified and they get awareness of what are the areas which are stopping them from their success. And at times they have very deep insights themselves during the coaching session, and then they take a decision if they want to work on their life. And this is a decision actually which an individual has to make. See, we are investing on everything. We are investing on our family, we are investing on our the properties, on our furniture, on home and everything. But the most important commodity or the most important individual that needs that investment is we ourselves. So we have to invest on ourselves. We need someone, and by the way, I'm saying it out of my heart because I am myself taking coaching from an experienced coach for the last 7 years, because I need someone who I can confide in. I need someone with whom I can discuss what I cannot discuss with my peers, with my wife, with my parents, with my kids, with anyone. And then I need someone who can give me an opportunity to do some self-reflection and to see where do I stand and where I'm going to reach. I need someone who can keep me focused, laser focused on my goals. So it's not only that I'm coaching people, I need a coach who can help me to achieve whatever I want to achieve in my life.
Informative, and
Thank you.
I think let's conclude our discussion today.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you with us, Tanveer, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure again.
Thank you.
So, viewers, wait till our next episode of Exponential Coaching Podcast. So, we'll be with you soon. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Thank you.